glass of champagne and help us make a toast to a future made brighter by Lightmatter. Goodbye. The CEO of Lightmatter Technologies would like to welcome bankers, investors, and all of those who have doubted him to this launch event. To those of you on the public tour, hello. Now entering the stage, Virgil. He needs no introduction. He is the beating heart of this mountain, the greater of two minds.
Unbelievable. There's more of you. Were you a part of the public tour? If so, I have just evacuated your tour guide. Don't panic. Now, your inability to follow evacuation orders is truly astounding, but I need you to pay attention. First off, walk through that door. Excellent. You have already exceeded my expectations. Wait, it's dark in there. You might trip. Let me light your path. The door requires 2 people to reopen. Proceed to my security manager's office. Now, I presume you know how buttons work. Impressive. If you continue like this, I might just hire you to mop the floor. Now scurry along, and you will reach the elevator to the exit. It's simple. I know it's difficult not to stare at the scientific wonder that is Lightmatter, but the launch event is over. Don't worry, my facility is sturdy. Get to the elevator. Excellent. The elevator will take you directly to our outpost. When you get there, journalists will immediately try to put words in your mouth. But stand strong and tell them that Virgil, the CEO of Lightmatter Technologies, saved your life and that the side effects are under control. Goodbye. Can you hear me? It's even on. Shadows are dangerous. Stay away from the shadow. Let's fix this. Excellent. It's working. So, simple is no longer an option, neither for you nor for me. This was a monumental failure on behalf of my elevator technicians. But don't worry, you will reach the exit of this facility and they will reach the end of their employment. An escape plan is in development. Until then, keep in mind that the shadows can kill you. Think the floor is lava, just with shadows that absorb organic material. Ah, excellent. Do you see that lamp down there? Pick it up. Handy, isn't it? Focus groups called it heavy and clunky. I called them weak and stupid. In the hands of a capable miner, that lamp turns into one of their finest tools. Listen, I know that the shadows might look intimidating to you. A deep black obsidian-like tar that will devour you whole, but they're just simple gravity-bound anomalies, a temporary side effect of light matter. You see, all of mankind's greatest breakthroughs had their kinks, and these kinks are manageable. If they weren't, I wouldn't be here in the facility fixing them. You know that I was the first to wander through these caves? Although I came here with my former partner, Arthur, I was the one who discovered the photon crystals. You might have heard that the side effects of those same crystals cost me my leg. Ah, there it is. Now, since you missed your tour, that giant beam of light you see is light matter. The source of that beam we call the core, a collection of massive photon crystals. It is so powerful that it shakes the very foundation of this facility. I still remember my first successful prototype. The beam seemed so solid, it looked like light had become matter. I built on that, and now look at it. A sustainable and renewable energy source that will save humanity. Yes, the launch today failed, but these shadows will not deter me from bringing light matter into fruition. Now that I think about it, where were you during the launch event? All guests were taken directly to the tram, so you must have snuck away somehow. What exactly were you doing? Wait, are you a health and safety inspector? The irony that you didn't. So, health and safety inspector, let me do your job for you. You see that giant piece of metal moving back and forth? It's a top-grade mineral decontaminator. I installed it as soon as I heard that my employees were losing their hair. Once installed, cellular degradation fell by 37%. Excellent. Our time together is almost at an end. There's a bridge right around the corner. Cross it, and you will be on a direct path to Sunshine. And my security manager, James. Oh yes, he was evacuated as well. I wouldn't dare risk his health and safety. Be careful with my lamps. At Lightmatter Technologies, we treat our inanimate objects with respect. Not like those monsters of Aperture Science. The bridge collapsed. That's why I don't trust you, inspectors. I built it up to code, to what was legally required of me, yet what good did it do? Let me figure out your options. I really don't have time for this. The new door will be open soon enough. A moment, Inspector. Yes, James, this is Virgil. I need... James, calm down, James. Just punch something. We will find your cat later. Now focus. I need details for a new evacuation route. The inspector didn't make it across the bridge. It collapsed. Must have pushed the button too hard. Yes. I thought so. Plan out the rest of the route and do it faster than last time. Goodbye, James. Inspector, the door is open. Run along now. All right, Inspector. Your failure to push a button has resulted in a change of plans. You will be taking a detour to another elevator. Now, show some gratitude for the amount of effort I put into keeping you alive. Keep an eye out for James's cat, Lux. James wants to know that he's safe. You see, James can't function properly when he's sad. Listen, I have a limited amount of patience, and this detour is...
My name is Ellen, and things here are... Okay. First off, I am really proud to be an engineer at Lightmatter Technologies. But I don't know what the truth is anymore. People are getting sick left and right. Tape recorders have been banned, and now, until launch, all outside communication is prohibited. Not only that, leave permits are invalid. Virgil and Arthur, the pioneers of science. I can't believe they're doing this. They've been fighting each other for weeks, so I knew something was wrong, but I never thought they would lock down the facility. Ellen here. I don't know what to do. I was sleeping in the lab when, suddenly, I felt something on my head. I opened my eyes, and Arthur is standing over me, in the dark, holding a vial. Before I could do or say anything, he just said, "It's for the better." What? How exactly is pouring liquids into my hair for the better? I wish I'd said that. But there he was. Arthur, the CTO of Lightmatter Technologies. The man I spent years working with. The man I am helping to save the world. I could barely recognize him. I can't stop Arthur. I can't stop Arthur. Nobody believes a man of that status would poison people like that. And apparently, losing my hair at the age of 31 isn't proof enough. I need to take more drastic measures.
How did you get all the way over there? Well, impressive. You realized how much of a waste of time you are, and took a shortcut. You're much closer to the elevator, so well done, Inspector. Now, you're not supposed to be in that part of the facility, but never mind. You will be taking what you see here to your grave. Don't worry, it's just a standard non-disclosure agreement. Inspector, I admire competence, and you've shown some. So let me tell you a bit about my technology. The panels that you've lit up to power machinery, those are the photon power cells. You see, my former partner, Arthur, designed this part of the facility. And when he did, he used primitive copper for wiring. Once I increased the voltage, it melted. So I bypassed that idiocy by retrofitting doors, lifts, etc. with photon power cells. Those power cells function as both energy converters and switches. Clever, but you'll realize their true purpose once light matter makes its way into the world. Inspector, let me enlighten you. To invent, you need a good imagination and a pile of junk. Conventional solar cells were a pile of junk until I got my hands on them. I improved upon them using photon crystals and created photoelectric cells that were actually efficient. Of course, when I succeeded, a cabal of my competitors... Impressive! You're the smartest inspector I've ever met. A low bar, sure, but a bar nonetheless. Oh, hold on. What an interesting phone call. My security manager, James, just got a hold of our government contacts. They told him that we were not scheduled for an inspection today. And since you are not on the guest list, James doesn't know who you are. But I do. It's obvious. You're a journalist. It fits. Your kind always go to such extremes for your stories. I would like to remind you that freedom of the press does not extend to trespassing. We'll have a talk once you get out. Since you're a journalist, you must be here to investigate the merits of Arthur's accusations. Yes, I read the papers. I like to keep myself misinformed. Do you know what makes his lies so convincing? The small amount of truth he uses. Yes, Lightmatter caused hair loss and other minor side effects. But I solved all of that with the mineral decontaminators. And what did Arthur do? He poisoned our employees, exaggerating those side effects in his crusade to destroy me. Jealousy can be so ugly. It can be so all-consuming. It consumed our partnership, it consumed our friendship, and it almost destroyed this entire facility. So, journalist, you will soon be out of here. But before you write, there we are, the entrance to research and development. I know that you're eager to explore more of Lightmatter technologies, but you overstayed your welcome long ago. If it's any consolation, I'll let you write an exclusive about me. How does that sound? Just remember that non-disclosure agreement we discussed. Also, you are trespassing, and I have a legion of lawyers. So, journalist, our time together is sadly at an end. The elevator is just upstairs. Listen, I know that I mentioned lawyers earlier. It's just that a man like me needs to be careful. I understand the need for journalists. People in power need to be held accountable. I'm no exception. I just hope you're fair when you write about me. Well done, journalist. When you meet James, ask him to check the time and tell him that I won. See you on the other side. I'll think of something. Start heading back. I'll tell you when to stop.
I just snuck into Arthur's office, and it's worse than I thought. Arthur is trying to sabotage Lightmatter. It's not just poisonings. I found the schematics for his experiment on the core. He's not trying to improve it. He's trying to overload it. If he manages to do that, we are all going to die. I am not going to let Arthur ruin our future. I have to get to Virgil. Arthur is after me. Whoever finds this, if it's not too late, tell Virgil that Arthur needs to be stopped.
All right now, pay close attention. It seems that when it comes to you, nothing can ever be simple. That elevator was your quickest way out. But I have an idea, and it involves making this partnership mutually beneficial. You are going to be my assistant. Try to contain yourself. You will be moving deeper into the facility through our research and development department. Before I allow you in, I would like to make something abundantly clear. Be careful with what you touch, and no photographs. I'll tell you more about the plan as I work out the details. Do not make me regret this, and remember to do exactly as I say. So, assistant, this is where we develop our photon connectors. Everything you see here is confidential, expensive, and fragile. Don't treat it like you treat my elevators or bridges. Behold, a photon connector. Ah, a beam of light so magnificent, it almost looks like matter being created before you. Fascinating, isn't it? The connectors suspend photon crystals over electromagnets. As long as they're in line of sight to what I call a mother source, they create a powerful beam of light matter. A beam so powerful that it produces a surplus of energy. Although the connectors are just prototypes for the core, they display the very essence of light matter. Know this, without the technology behind the connectors, photon crystals would be no better than diamonds, boring and devoid of function. The crystals possess great power, but it's my technology that releases and tames that power. Assistant, I think a lot about the future. In these labs, I've spent years testing the prototypes under various conditions, all to ensure the success of the core. You see, although the photon connectors have 100.2% conversion efficiency, I've reached 107% with the core. I achieved critical mass. And Arthur wanted to stop at the prototype. Madness. He was so certain that the laws of physics were unbreakable. That is where we differed. Where he saw laws, the core. No matter how many times we see it, it leaves us in awe, doesn't it, Assistant? This is everything Lightmatter Technologies has built towards. Every power cell, every connector, all of them combine to create this. By using photon power cells to collect the energy from a large-scale beam of light matter, I built a perpetual motion machine. Facts are facts. The energy is clean, infinite, and is about to usher in the next scientific revolution. Others will stand on my shoulders and see further than they have ever before. That will be my legacy. We will fix the side effects. Let us ignore the quakes for now. Imagine at the center of a city, a core, providing sustainable and renewable energy to millions. That is the future we are striving for. Assistant, I now have the plan. To get you out, we are shutting down the core. When I left earlier, my path down there was blocked. And since I'm limited by my body, but not my mind, I wasn't able to get around the obstacles. As you have the opposite problem, you'll play a part in this. The core is very delicate, so I'll be up here in my control room managing the shutdown. As my assistant, you'll be the one pulling the lever. When I told James of this plan, he seemed jealous. Assistant, you need to know what will happen after the temporary shutdown. Once the core is off, the quakes and shadow anomalies will subside, allowing you to walk your fragile little head out of here. But more importantly, observing the shutdown will provide me the information I need to fix the side effects permanently. The core will repower, and it will shine eternally. Impressive. With that agility and complete disregard for your own safety, one could easily mistake you for a cat. I like cats. Look at the plants around you, Assistant. We planted them yesterday. You see, Lightmatter accelerates photosynthesis and makes them grow at an incredible rate. Imagine applying this technology to cultivation throughout the world. Famine, mass deforestation, floods, all of these relegated to history. Lightmatter will not only brighten the world, it will give life. Assistant, by now you must understand the significance of Lightmatter. So it's about time you learn how Arthur almost destroyed it. 3 months, and a lot of hair ago, Arthur went to the board of directors behind my back. He proved to them that Lightmatter was causing minor side effects. It was humiliating, but I solved the problem by installing the decontaminators. That is when Arthur started poisoning people. Later, that vermin of a man had the nerve to use that as further proof to the board. While we were investigating the matter, one of my employees discovered his plan to overload the core and destroy the entire facility. Luckily, James and I stopped him before it was too late. Arthur paid for what he did, but nothing can redeem betrayal. All right now, you're getting close to the core, but the quakes are getting... Hold on. Yes, James? James, you have brawn, not brains. My new assistant and I have the situation under control. Stay at the outpost, keep everyone safe. Goodbye. You know, Assistant, I'm starting to enjoy your company and the qualities you possess. You are persistent, replaceable, and silent. You need to handle bridges with more finesse, Assistant. Well, at least you still have your legs. Let's see. into my newer, more experimental labs. Communication systems and cameras are non-existent. Now, that area is dangerous, so stick to the exit signs. We're in this together. See you soon.
Ellen here. I'm having these intense splitting headaches. They only seem to go away when I stare directly into light. And I'm not the only one. We're all slowly turning into mobs, staring at lamps for hours on end. Not only that, people are still losing hair and now fingernails. It doesn't make any sense. It's been weeks since Virgil and James handled Arthur. And still things are getting worse. Ellen here. Virgil has tightened the security into Arthur's office, but I managed to get in. I'm having a closer look at his overload schematics, and his experiment could really multiply the core's output by several magnitudes. Makes sense why Virgil's still tinkering with it. Greedy old man. What else is in here? Arthur had a theory. Based on... Oh, he built a prototype of his experiment on the core. I've gone through Arthur's theory. The core is not a perpetual motion machine. It's the shadows. The crystals draw energy from them. They draw energy from us. Virgil knew, and he did nothing. If he activates the core, shadows will not only decay us, they will devour us. Arthur, this doesn't change what he did. But I need to finish his work.
Assistant, get out of there. That's Arthur's... Oh, never mind. It's not safe. Hold on. I'll open the nearest exit door for you. Do not touch anything. Did you not hear what I said? You're not qualified for that. Do you remember when I told you about the power of Lightmatter? You are currently quadrupling that power. I know you are ambivalent about your survival, and so am I. But I will feed you to the shadows before I allow you to destroy Lightmatter. That explosion. Understand that blast injuries can be quite serious. They can cause cochlear damage, retinal failure, and most commonly, hallucinations. Keep that in mind. Now, you must do as I say. We need to fix the shadow anomalies, not kill ourselves. I am not impressed. Commitment to the cause would impress me. Journalist, I have an idea. Do you remember that exclusive we talked about a while back? We are going to pivot. You'll be writing about Arthur. Do you know how many people he would have killed if he succeeded in overloading the core? The initial blast would have killed 290 workers in the facility. The ensuing rock slide would have killed another 80 at the surrounding outpost. In total, 370 dead. All by Arthur's hand. You are approaching the core. When you get there, control yourself. I know failure comes naturally to you, but this time we cannot afford it. If anything goes wrong, you will not only put me and yourself at risk. Everyone at the outpost, including James, will also be in peril. The core is powerful. Do not underestimate it. Yourself, James. Just grab a lamp and create a safe zone for everyone at the outpost. James, listen. We have... I've prepared the shutdown procedure. Now, pull the lever. Excellent. It worked. It's completely self-sustaining. Magnificent. Journalists, are you seeing this? Even without the mother sources, the core can power itself. Let's see. Crystals, stable. Energy levels, stable, although slightly decreased. And the shadow anomalies have not subsided. However... Yes. Listen, we have exhausted all your options for exiting the facility. But since I now know what steps to take, I will fix the shadow anomalies. Now, I do not trust you around the core, so you're staying in that room. If you're hungry, well, the human body can survive 21 days without food. And as for water, I can turn on the sprinklers. Goodbye, journalist.
Whoever is looking into this, the core can't be shut down. It needs to be destroyed. Get to the control rooms surrounding the core and you'll be able to overload it. It will neutralize shadow anomalies everywhere. I tried to do it myself, but the core is surrounded by guards. And Virgil is onto me. Nobody here is facing reality. They are ready to follow Virgil off a cliff. No one is willing to help me. But I hope you will. First off, you need to reactivate the core. Once it's on, a sequence I created will give you access to the other control rooms. Don't worry, you won't be seen. When this recording triggered, it also deactivated most cameras surrounding the core. I know overloading it sounds dangerous, but trust me, you'll survive. Good luck.
Are you already that bored? What exactly are you expecting to achieve? Wait, why are the cameras... Oh, never mind. I'm sick of looking for your journalistic face anyway. Listen, if my control room bores you, then write an article about it. I have work to do. now, Lux. Lightmatter. If you proceed any further, it will annihilate you in ways... You have left me with no other choice. I will feed you to the shadows. You're not a journalist. Tell me, what were you doing before I first spotted you? Stealing photon crystals? Stealing data from our servers? I know what you are. Spy! Did Arthur send you? Is your loyalty that blind? Think about that night. He tried to overload the core. What if he caused the shadow anomalies? And all of that complaining? I can't control the shadows. Well, I can't control the shadows, and that's because of him! It's all because of Arthur! If the shadows destroy a couple of cities, without Lightmatter, we won't just lose cities, we'll lose our future! I am going to shove you into a hole so dark, even photon crystals won't be able to reach. Hear me, spy! Not so fast! Mark my words, spy! Before this is over, my shadows will disintegrate you atom by atom! James! What took you so long? What? Who is this? In the facility? When did he leave? James! Where are you, James? The spy is almost at the final switch! Get down there and stop this! Now! Listen, spy! Your crusade is over! Things will find you! He will crush you! He will rip you apart! One limb at a time! And it won't be quick! No! You will suffer and you will beg! Beg for my shadows to erase you from your miserable existence! spy. This is far from over. You're trapped. Our time together is finally at an end. Now watch as I close the gate and relegate you to darkness. Ah, James. You made it. You're just in time to watch this vermin get devoured by the shadows. Pest control. The applications for Lightmatter truly are... James, what are you doing? No, James, don't! James! You traitor! I thought you were better than this. Better than Arthur! Better than... You... Don't pull that lever. Do you want money? Power? Please, I will give you anything. And Arthur, he can have Lightmatter. Just think about what you're throwing away. We could power the world. We could save humanity from pollution. We could save humanity from itself. No! You have doomed us all!
Lightmatter is ruined. I do not have the resources to set up another operation. Last year, 200,000 died from floods, 2.5 million died from pollution, 3.4 from starvation. Yes, I was reckless, but I was reckless for them. Every shortcut I took, every moral I compromised, was for their benefit. Yes, Lightmatter had issues. But now I'll never know if I could have solved it. I was never given a chance to see if I could have solved it. Their deaths are on you.